we are going to be talking about our first primer, Introduction to Linux. And as I was introducing myself, I am Tanishq Daima. I'm a graduate assistant here at HPRC. HPRC falls under the Division of Research, and we have supercomputing resources that helps in accelerating research for Texas A&M University as well as external users. So throughout the year, we offer a lot of primers and short courses. And this fall, this is our first primer where we will be teaching Introduction to Linux. This will be a hands-on session, and the demonstration will be done through the Open On-Demand portal. So I will be explaining how to access all of that shortly. I would like to welcome all of you and also want everyone to be aware that we have two sets of audience here, Texas A&M University people and also people from Access, which is an NSF-funded research program. So there can be some instructions that might be different for the Texas A&M people from the external users. And also we have an amazing team of HPRC staff and help desk members on the call who will be assisting you with any issues that you may have during the course of the primer. So you can reach out to them. All right, so let's dive in. Okay, so HPRC as a group offers 4 high-performance computing clusters, ACES, Faster, Grace, and Terra. In order to access these clusters, you will need either the HPRC account if you want to access Faster, Grace, and Terra, and you are a Texas A&M student or staff. If you are an external user, you will need Access ID to access Faster and ACES. For today's demonstration, I will be using Faster so that both the Texas A&M students, Texas A&M people and external users can access it. And this is our link to the knowledge base, which will be very helpful for you if you once you start using our clusters. Okay, now this is an announcement that I have to make that you do not have to share your password for your HPRC account with anyone. This is prohibited by Texas law and also the Texas A&M regulations. So please make sure that you do not ever share your password. All right, so now we will be using the portal to access our cluster. And you can do that by going to our webpage, which is hprc.tamu.edu. If someone from the channel can post these links in the chat, it'll be great. I will also be showing you how we can do that. So this is our webpage. You'll have to go to portal. If you're a Texas A&M student or a staff, you have to access Faster using the Faster portal link. All right, so you will be redirected to the Faster on-demand portal. And if you are an Access user, then you will have to use the Access portal for Faster. It'll take you to the Access page. Here you will have to specify your identity provider. In my case, it's Texas A&M University. I'll click on log on. And since I'm already logged in, I will be redirected to the same dashboard. But in your case, you will be redirected to a screen like this where you'll have to provide your credentials to log into the Faster portal. Now, as once you are on the dashboard, in order to access our cluster, you'll have to click on clusters and Faster shell access. It'll open an in-browser shell access, which is very convenient. Here you'll have to Again, type in your password. It'll ask you for a two-factor authentication, give you a duo push. And once you are authenticated, you will be logged into the faster portal. I hope my screen is visible to everyone and you're able to read it. So as you can see here, you will be logged in with your net ID. The first part is the net ID, @ whatever is the name of your machine. In this case, it's faster 2. So this is how you can log in. So this is one way to log into our cluster. This is something I've already shown you. The next thing is you can also use SSH to log into our clusters. Let's say if you're on a Linux terminal, then you can directly access your terminal and type in this command SSH. SSH is basically a secure shell command. It's a network protocol that can help you securely connect to a remote machine. So if you are on a Linux machine and you're using a Linux terminal and you don't want to use Open On Demand portal, you can directly go to your terminal, type SSH space -x, your net ID @pastor.hprc.tamu.edu, and it'll ask you your password and do a push again, and you will be able to log in. If you are anywhere outside the campus, you will have to connect to our VPN. We have those steps on our website and on the knowledge base as well. So you can go through that. The flag -x is basically used to enable X11 forwarding. So if you want to use any GUI software or view any images through your terminal on the remote machine, then you have to use -x. So I think everyone will be able to log in. If you're facing any issues, let us know. Okay, I'm going to assume that everyone is able to log into the cluster. If there is any problem or any issues that you're facing, you can put it in the chat and someone will be able to help you. Now we are going to dive into the main part of the primer, which is the Linux commands. So I will be doing all of these commands on my portal, and I would really encourage everyone to try it out on your shell as well, so that you're able to understand what exactly we are trying to achieve. The first command we will be talking about is print working directory, or PWD. So let's try it out. Okay, so I'm going to clear my screen. If you want to clear your screen on a Linux terminal, you can do Control L and it'll clear your screen, just for some context. Okay, so the first command that we are going to use is PWD. Basically, Linux has a very it basically has a directory structure, and in order to understand where you are at any given point of time, PWD is a very helpful command. It'll show you the exact path that you are in. So when I'll type PWD and press enter, it'll give me that, okay, I'm inside the home directory inside my user, my net ID. So in your case, it should be your net ID. This is the default directory. Once you're logged in, you will be inside the home directory. So this is how PWD can be used. Next command is ls, which stands for list contents. So let's say you are inside a directory. Now you want to check what all directories and folders and files are present inside that directory. So you can use ls, type enter, and right now I have these directories in my home folder. In your case, it can be empty and there's a chance that you do not see anything. which is totally fine because you're just starting on with faster. Now, next, as I was talking about the directory structure in Linux, the directory structure is like an inverted tree data structure. If you are familiar with computer science data structures, it starts with root and it goes all the way up. Generally, like for this primer, we will be focusing on the home folder. Uh, and within home, there can be many folders for each one of us, each one of the users. Uh, and if you are trying to see, if you are trying to understand what will be the path for docs folder, it will be, since docs is inside Chris, which is in turn inside home, it'll be /home/Chris/docs. So this is how the directory structure works in Linux. Okay, so let's try some of the directory commands now. We will be making a directory and then going inside it. So this is a very simple command, but it's very important. So mkdir is the name of the command, which is used to make a directory inside the current directory. So right now we are in home directory. I'll type mkdir, the name of the directory that I want to create, enter. And if you do not see anything in Linux, it's the best case. It means that there's no error and the command has been executed. Now you want to check that this directory is created or not. We will do an ls, and there you go. The directory has been created. The next step, once you have created a directory, is to go inside that directory and work inside it, right? So for that, the next command is cd, which stands for change directory. So we will do cd my underscore dir and enter. So as you can notice from home, we have now uh, we are now in my directory. If you want to check the current directory, you can type pwd and you will be able to see the current directory, which is my dir. So that's how you navigate inside the Linux directory structure. Next command is rmdir, but this one I will be explaining in a minute. First, I would like to uh, discuss few of the change directory commands. Uh, so at any given point of time, let's say you are somewhere and you don't know, and you just want to go back to the home directory, the easiest way is to type cd. If you don't know where you are, you just want to go back, just type cd, and cd with a tilde or cd with a tilde slash also does the same thing. So right now I'm in my dir. If I type cd and enter, I'll be back. I'll go back to home directory. So this is a very easy way to go back to the home directory. So basically, just to get back from where you have started. If you want to switch to the parent directory of the current directory, then you have to use two dots. It is also something which is very useful, and we will be seeing how this works in with this exercise. But let me explain what it means first. So let's say if you are in a directory and you just want to go one step back, you can simply type cd space dot dot and you'll be redirected back to the previous directory. Sorry, the parent directory. And if you just want to go back to the directory that you were in, then you can use hyphen. Let's try this exercise to understand how this entire thing works. I would really appreciate if all of you can try it on your shell. We will be going through each one of the steps. So let's do this. I'm here back in the home directory. I'm gonna clear my screen. I'm inside home, so I don't have to use it, but again, like it'll just take me back to the home directory. I will create a directory with the name temp. Then I will go inside temp and I will create another directory called HG19. So I'm inside temp, and if I'll do ls, I can see the new directory that is just being created. So I'm here. I can also go inside HG19, and right now this is an empty directory, doesn't have anything, so we don't see anything on the output. If I'll do pwd, I'm inside home, inside my net ID, inside temp, inside HG19. Now we will be using this command cd space dot dot slash dot dot. So we know that cd dot dot will take us to the parent directory. We are in HG19, so technically it should take us back to the temp directory. But what do you think two dot dot will do? Let's try it. It seems that we are back in the home directory. You can check it using pwd. And yes, we are back in the home directory. So it seems that when you are in HG19 and you do cd dot dot, it takes you back to the temp directory. And once you're in temp, there is another pair of dots, and that takes you back to the home directory. So this is like an easier way to, navigate through the directories. If we can also try cd space hyphen, this command takes you to the previous directory. Let's see what it does. And yes, since we were in HG19 when we came back to home directory, so when we did cd space hyphen, we were redirected back to the HG19. So whatever is the previous directory, you'll be redirected to that. Yeah, I think that's it. We've covered this. Also, yeah, so this is something that I didn't cover before. If you have an empty directory and you just want to remove it, in this case, HG19 is an empty directory. First of all, I need to go one step back. Now I'm inside temp. It has HG19, which is an empty directory. If I want to remove an empty directory, I need to type rmdir HG19, name of the directory, enter. So it seems that nothing happened, but if you'll do ls, there is nothing inside temp now. So it has been successfully removed. So it's again a very important command. And one more thing that I wanted to note is that Linux is case sensitive. So if you will do mkdir in all caps, then it will not take it as a valid command. So it is case sensitive. You need to use proper commands to execute it. Now, this is a small concept that I wanted to cover, absolute versus relative path. So since Linux is a tree structure, we have directories, and then we have, like directories inside them. So there is a chance that, let's say you are inside project folder and you want to see contents inside the docs folder. Okay, I will show it to you. That'll be much more clearer. So let me create two directories, projects and docs. And inside docs, I want to create another directory called readme. So basically this particular concept, we'll try to understand. Let's say if we are inside projects and we want to see the path, we want to see the contents of docs folder. Okay, we don't want to move anywhere, we just want to see the contents. And since to list contents we use ls, so that is the command we're going to use. but we don't want to move anywhere. I just want to provide a path of the docs folder and I just want to see how it works. So technically it should be home slash mynet ID slash docs, and it gives me the correct content, right? There's a README directly inside docs. The same thing I can achieve using the relative path. Since I'm inside projects and I wanna go inside docs. I wanna go one step back to the home folder. So in order to go to the parent directory, we do dot dot slash. Now we are inside home, and from there we wanna go inside docs. So let's try if it works, and it works. So this is basically the first is a absolute path, and the second one is a relative path. This is how you can use it. Okay, so now we'll be talking about some of the common commands. Uh, these are commands that are basically used to display a content or write something inside a file, display it, all of that. So here is a small exercise that we will be doing. Uh, it's very simple. You can start with it, as I am also doing it on my shell. The first is echo. So echo command displays a text string on the standard output. This is a standard output. Anything that you can see on the shell is a standard output. So if I want to display a text string, let's say hello world, and so this is how I can do echo space string within the quotes, enter, and it displays that string. So this is how we can use echo. Now we will be doing a small exercise. We will be using touch, nano, and cat. So first of all, we will be creating a new file, editing it, and then displaying its contents. Okay. So this is a three-step process. I'm gonna go back to home. I'll create a directory called primer. Go inside primer through CD. I'm inside primer. I will create a new empty file using the touch command. You can do NLS to see, yeah. So we see that file here. Now next thing is to edit that file. Okay, so heads up, this can be a little tricky for some users if you are just starting with Linux. I will be using a nano editor, but you don't have to worry because I will be showing you how you can edit a file through our portal, which is much easier once I'm done with this. So you don't have to feel intimidated if this feels a little, uh, yeah, different. So I've just typed nano new.txt and press enter. And here I am inside the nano editor. This is the file name new.txt. And here you have all the options that you can use to edit this file. So here it says for write out, you need to use Control O. So first of all, let me type something. Okay, so this is what I wanted to type. I'm done and I want to save it. I will press Control O and then enter. So it seems wrote two lines. So these two lines are there now in my file. And now I want to go back to my Linux prompt. I'm inside Nano right now, so I want to go back. If you want to exit this, you can use Control X. And here we are back to the main screen. So if you want to check the contents of the file, if it has been edited or not, for that, you can use the cat command. I edited the file. Now I want to see or display the contents of this file on the standard output. For that, I'm using cat space, file name, enter. And yeah, there you go. You have both the lines here. So this is how you can simply create a file, edit it, and display its contents. For people who do not want to use Nano or VI editor in Linux, for them, you can come to our dashboard. Here, you can go to Files. This is the same home directory that we are working on. There's a Scratch directory also. So let's go to Home directory, and it should list all the directories that I can see on my shell. It's taking some time. Okay, so here there's the primer folder that I've just created, and new.txt. So if you want to edit this file, you can just click here. You can also create a new file using this option. If you want to edit this, just click on edit and it will open an in-browse file editor for you, which is much easier to use. So you can use this particular editor to edit the files. That's totally okay. Okay, so moving forward, this I've already explained. We will be talking about the history command. So, if you try to press the up key on your keyboard, you will be able to see all the old commands. Okay. So, this is achieved using basically a functionality in Linux where it stores all your commands in .bash underscore history file. And if you want to access it, you can just you can just type history and it'll list all the commands here. So I just explained the history command and how you're able to list all the previous commands that you are doing. You can also use tail command with the history command. So there's a operator called pipe in Linux, and in that you will be able to list just the last 10 commands of your of your shell. So let's say I use history pipe tail. What it does is, so tail command basically is used to just display the last 10 lines of anything. So here, tail is used with history. So it will just take the last 10 lines of the history command and display it. So this is how it works. And you will be able to, you don't have to worry about what all you have used. You have everything stored in the history. So it's pretty useful. Okay, so next thing that we're going to talk about is options in Linux. Uh, in this, if you have list contents, we are going to use list contents to understand options. I have been using ls to display whatever is there inside this particular directory, right? So let's say I'm inside home and I use ls, it'll list me everything that's inside this particular directory. So let's say if I want to see more details about these directories, maybe right now it's just showing me main directories. If I also want to see the hidden files, basically all the files, so I can use an option or a flag, which is -a. It stands for all, and when I'll enter it, it also now we can also see the hidden files that starts with dot. So you can also see that how we can so now we are able to see all the files. There's also a flag called -l, which is basically used to list all the basically list more details about those directories and files. If let me try this. So here you can see that we can also see the permissions of the directories, the user who have created it, and also the timestamp. So this is these options are pretty useful. And if you want to check, like, obviously you can't remember which option will go with which command, and it's a little tricky to remember all of that. So in that case, you can use a manual command or man command to understand like what all options are available with that command. So it's basically, you can obviously Google search, but if you are in the Linux shell and if you want to just see how this particular command works, you can just use man ls, enter, and it will give you all the information that, okay, ls means list directory contents, what are its description, what are its options that are available, all of that information. So it's pretty useful if you want to just check how a particular command works. And now to go back to the Linux prompt, you need to press Q to quit this. And this particular command you can use with anything. You can also use it with cat, and it will give you the name of the command, how you can use it, description, what options are available, everything about it. So yeah. Okay, so this is something that you must be thinking that when we are in the home folder and I do an ls, there are different colors to the different folders and directories. So why is that? So basically in Unix, all the files and directories are color coded based on their attributes. Here, if you'll see, turquoise is a color that you'll use for any symbolic links. Okay, so if you are, if you know how programming works, so uh, like it's like a pointer to a different file, or you can also understand it as a shortcut, like let's say the shortcuts that we have on a desktop, and it points to an actual application. So that's how it works. The green one is for executable files, red is for compressed files, purple is for image files, all the JPEG and all of those extensions. If you are using an AI/ML model and if you want to train an image, then this is what you use. The blue is for directories and the white one is for text files. Uh, Also, one thing to note that these colors are not universal, so it totally depends on your terminal emulator, and there's a chance that it is different for different people. So in our shell, this is how we have it. So the zip file is in red, directories in blue, normal text files are in white, and if there's a script or an executable file, it's in green. Uh, the next thing is the manual page, but I've already discussed it. So I'm gonna move forward. Okay. Uh, Now we are gonna talk about the chmod command, which is basically a command that you use to set permissions to a file. So you can set specific permission to a specific directory or file, and you can check like if you're able to have the correct permissions, and if you want to restrict permissions for security reasons, you can do all of that using this command. And we will be doing a small exercise to understand this. Uh, Here, if you'll see, this is this is how you do basically write it, chmod, the command name. Then, then the options. Option is basically the user group that we are talking about. And then comes the different modes, read, write, executable, and then the file name. So in order to understand this, the format for the permission mode is UUU, which is for users, then GGG for group, and lastly, it's for others. U stands for user, G for group, O for other, and R stands for readable, R for write, X for execute. If you do minus, then you're basically removing that permission. If you're doing plus, then you're kind of enabling that permission. I will show how it works. So you can, yeah. So let's try to do this through an exercise. Uh, I would like you to follow along. Let me know if you face any issues. I'm gonna create a directory first with the name data. I'm going to go inside data and then we will create two text files, file one.txt using touch command and file two.txt. If you'll do an ls, you will be able to see both the files. As discussed previously, if you want to check more information about a file, if you want more details about a file, you can use ls space -l, and this is how you can see how it works. So for file1.txt, the default permissions are for user and group, there is read and write permissions, and for others, there's just read permissions and no executable permission for any of these files. So if you want to change that, what you can do is you can write chmod. Let's say I want to give file one an executable permission uh, for users and group. So the format is UUU GGG OOO. So right now it's read write. So if you want to change that and if you want to give executable permission to file one, you want something like this. Okay. Now let's see how do you achieve that. So I will be using chmod. Then I want user and group to enable read, write, and executable permissions, and then the file name. And yes, so this file is now in green because it has executable permissions. And here also, if you'll see, you have read, write, execute for user and group. You can do the same for file two. Let's say I want to. Also, there is another way. This is one way to set permissions. There is another way using the numbers. So this is how you can do it. 0 means no permission. 1 means execute. 2 means write permissions. 3 write and execute, and so on. So let's say if I want to give read, write, and execute permission to user, but only read and execute permission to user, to group and others, how I can do that. So let's try chmod 7. So for user group, we want all three permissions for file2.txt, read, write, and execute. So 7. 7 is for read, write, and execute. And we just want read and execute permissions for others and groups. So I'll be using 5. 755 file 2.txt. Let's see how it works. So now if I'm gonna try ls-l, and there we go. We have read, write, execute permission for user, read and execute for group, and read and execute for others. So again, just to be clear, what user, group, and other means. So user is you basically, your own net ID. Group is basically your user is part of many groups. So that if you set a permission on a group level, it means that is what group means. And everyone else outside of your group are others. So that is for others. And usually you would not want executable permissions for other groups. other people. So it's good to remove it. If you want to remove the executable permission for others, you can do it using, again, the same command, chmod. I want other group to not have executable permission. So I'm doing -x, and then if I'll do .text, if I'll do ls-l, and we don't have executable permission anymore. So this is how you use chmod. Uh, yeah, I hope it is clear to everyone. If you have any doubts, please let me know. Uh, we will be starting with the last exercise for this primer now, which is a shell script exercise. Uh, so if you want to know anything up till now, you can unmute yourself and let me know. If not, then probably I can start with this. Okay. So, okay, probably let's start with this. So what is a shell script? As you can see that here, we have used echo commands, mkdir, cd, all of these commands separately, right? One at a time. But usually that's not a very preferred way because you wanna put everything inside a file and then execute all of it together. So this is just like any other script, like Python script or JavaScript. So this is a shell script. You basically combining all the commands together and executing it uh, at once. So let's see how it works. In this, I will be creating a script called myscript.sh. Then here I will be changing the script permission so that we can execute it and then running the script. Okay. So you can try it along. First of all, let me clear my screen. I'm gonna go back to home. I'm gonna create this script inside Primer. I'll go inside it. I will do a nano text editor. If you have a file, then it helps you to edit it. If you do not have a file, it also creates it. So yeah, it's pretty useful. Once I type this, it'll take me inside the editor. I'm inside my script.sh. Now I can start typing those commands here. So the first is the shebang. It's basically uh, you are telling the Linux interpreter to treat this script as a shell script. So the first command is used to, make sure that your interpreter is treating the script the right way. So you need to type this. Okay, once you're done with that, the second line is just a comment. It's not part of our script, so it's totally okay if you want to miss it. It's just like it's for us. Then I'm gonna create a variable called my name, and I'm gonna pass a string. Tanush, this is my name, so yes. Uh, then I will be doing a echo howdy. Now I'm going to use this variable inside this command. So in order to use this, you need to use dollar my name. And then I want this entire output inside a names.txt file. Now we have not discussed the redirection operator. I will quickly discuss that. So greater than symbol, okay? So this is what is used to redirect an output to a file. So let's say there's a command. In this case, it's echo. Whatever will be the output of this command, it will get stored inside the text file using this operator. It's greater than symbol. So it's also pretty useful. We'll see how it works. So this. then I want to create a directory called script output, move my names, go inside the directory. MV is used to move a file to a directory. So move is the command MV. It will move the names.txt file to the script output directory. And then I just want to print the contents of the names.txt file. Are we done? Your make directory, move cd and cat. Yes. So this is what I want my script to do. I want it to print howdy my name on the standard output. So this is done. I will save it using Control O, enter. I will exit it using Control X. And now, if you will try to execute it, /myscript.sh, it will not be executed because it doesn't have executable permission. You can check it using ls-l. It doesn't have execute permissions. So we are going to change that using chmod command, chmod 755 myscript.sh, enter. And now we can execute it. You can run the script using /myscript.sh, enter. Okay, wait. Okay, we might have to check what happened here. So I will go inside my text editor.
I think the problem is located in the move command because you change directory in the script output already. So you need the /name.
Oh, right, correct. Oh, I probably just missed that part. I changed the directory before that. Thank you for that. I think, yeah, now it should work. And yes, so now if I try to execute it, it gives me howdy my name. So we are able to successfully execute it. I hope you all were also able to. If there is any doubt, please let us know. This is something I'm not going to show you, but if you want to exit your terminal at any given point of time, you can use the exit command. So it'll, help you to fully log out of the faster portal. Yeah, think that's it. If you have any doubts or any questions, you can also go to our knowledge base. We have most of it answered there, or you can also reach out to us at help@hprc.tamu.edu. We take the tickets from there and we try to solve any issues that you may have. So you can do that as well. And if you want to learn more, there are video tutorials on our YouTube channel and also the knowledge base, which is available to you. And all of these are like good sources to learn these. And it can be a little tough if you're just starting with Linux, but uh, as you start using it, it gets simpler. So you can use all of these resources and reach out to us. This slide deck will also be available on our webpage. So if you want to, revisit this, you can do that from there as well.